Resident Evil Revelations for the Nintendo Switch. I picked up this collection back in May of this year, and I finally beat the first of the games, and it's actually a very interesting game. Now, Resident Evil Revelations 1 was a Nintendo 3DS game back in the day. They kind of went and HD remade it, made it high definition, and the game looks fantastic on the Nintendo Switch. Now, where I was a little pleasantly surprised with the game is I'm used to playing Resident Evil 1, Code Veronica, Resident Evil 7, where the game has kind of a survival horror feel to it and a lot of jump scares. This game plays more like a third-person action game, but that isn't a bad thing. Now, in Resident Evil Revelations, you have familiar characters like Chris and Jill, and the story is fine. But if you're going into this thinking it's going to be your traditional Resident Evil game, like I kind of was, you might be a little disappointed. Now, don't get me wrong, the story's fine, but it's not entirely scary. And the gameplay, to me, kind of plays like SOCOM for a weird feeling. And I don't know if it's the fact that it came from the 3DS, which had that kind of feel to it with certain games, but I do like this game. Now, in Resident Evil Revelations, you're basically trapped on a ship, and you're trying to stop a virus from spreading, almost like Parasite's Eve, to an extent. But in Resident Evil Revelations, what makes it different is the fact that you have different chapters. It's kind of episodic, and you're not stuck with the same group of characters throughout the game. Like, yeah, you are to an extent, but different chapters have you kind of playing as different groups of characters trying to fulfill this mission. It's cool because it keeps it fresh, because different characters have different weapons. It's a whole different group of personalities, and it kind of keeps the game very entertaining and very in tune for that reason in general. Now, like I mentioned, this is a third-person shooter like most Resident Evil games. And you could kind of tell that this was an offshoot game. You can tell this was like a side mission. And that works in its favor. Resident Evil Revelations 1, don't get me wrong there, I believe that the game, it had a lot of interesting backtracking to it where you had to get certain items to unlock certain areas that you had passed previously, which kind of had a really interesting Metroid feel to it, which was fine. However, as being a fan of the classic series, I thought this was going to be a lot scarier than it was. The game is 12 chapters long, and by no means are the chapters really hard. I read that this game was like 12 hours long. I beat it in about 7.5. But I think if you're looking for a quick pick up and play game, a little action game, beating mutants up instead of zombies, which kind of was weird to me for Resident Evil, I think you should pick this one up. The game is only about $40. It has a download for Resident Evil Revelations 2, which I'm going to be reviewing when I beat it. However, Resident Evil 1, like I said, you could definitely tell this was a 3DS game. But they've made it look beautiful for the Switch. It plays great on the Switch. I went back and forth between playing in docked and handheld mode, and both ways play great. They feel great, and just for a game on the Switch, I definitely think this is worth the pickup. That's my little quick review of Resident Evil Revelations 1 for the Nintendo Switch. If you guys have played it, as always, leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, and go check out all my other videos. Until next time, guys, leave your thoughts on Resident Evil Revelations 1. See you, bye.